Hey, what's happening, guys? So as you can probably tell, I've got a bit of a blocked nose at the minute, but I'm gonna try and soldier on. So let me just get straight into the topic. All the chatter at Manchester City has been about Erling Haaland, and rightly so, to be fair. He's shattering every goal-scoring record currently held at the very highest level. But not enough credit is being given to Man City for the strides they've made defensively this season, with John Stones in particular standing out in this new hybrid role. We're all aware of his ability to play out from the back and complete line-breaking passes, but I don't think any of us could have possibly expected him to step into midfield and dictate the game when his side are in possession. What this does for City is create an overload in the middle of the park and leaves the opposition scrambling in regards to their shape from a defensive perspective. Obviously, it does also mean City becomes susceptible to getting caught out on the break, but Ake and Akanji have the tactical intelligence to cover any spaces left in behind, with the man mountain that is Ruben Diaz sweeping up one-on-one in the worst case scenario. If you go back a couple of weeks to Man City's 4-1 victory over Liverpool, which was done without Haaland, might I add, John Stones' position allowed the rest of City's midfield to push higher up the pitch, and in turn forced Liverpool's back four to sit deeper than they're ordinarily accustomed to. Furthermore, Stones and Rodri kept switching positions in the second half, so trying to man mark or target them individually would have been futile. And you can see why Guardiola's sides are so difficult to stop when things like this are happening up and down the field. Curiously, the biggest example of this hybrid role backfiring was against bottom of the league Southampton. They pressed the life out of City from the get-go and made it difficult for them to manipulate the ball early on in the game. This resulted in Stones losing possession in his own half on multiple occasions and even picking up a booking when trying to make amends with a late challenge. In spite of this, Man City are winning games for fun at the minute, and Stones' versatility continues to see him picked ahead of other big names like Kyle Walker. When asked by journalists whether Walker could operate in Stones' newfound role, Guardiola bluntly stated, "No, he cannot do it. He will always have pace, and even at 60 years old will be the fastest person in this room. But to play inside, you have to have educated movements. He doesn't have every one of those characteristics." For all the accusations about Pep being a checkbook manager, let's not forget he opted to utilize academy lad Rico Lewis in place of Joao Cancelo earlier this year, simply because of a tactical shake-up. And that's a big reason why the Portuguese international decided to depart the club on loan. So full credit to Pep for making such ballsy decisions in a year where a historic treble is up for grabs. As a Man United supporter, it obviously pains me to be waxing lyrical about our next-door neighbours, but you simply cannot deny just how phenomenal they've been in recent weeks. It could still all go tits up for them, of course. That's just the nature of the game in the business end of the season, but the more you watch their matches, the better you begin to understand why Guardiola is already considered by many to be the greatest manager the sport has ever seen. That's not an opinion I necessarily agree with right now, but it could very well be the case further down the line for sure. On a side note, Stones' performances at the Etihad do make you wonder what difference a world-class coach could have on England's fortunes at major tournaments. While Southgate has been far from a disaster, many of the players he has at his disposal are operating at a completely different level for their club as opposed to their country. And I firmly believe that's down to the way he's got them setting up. There are times when Stones looks completely out of his depth on the international stage, yet is a key piece in the jigsaw for a club looking to equal a record that's only been achieved once in English football history. I'm not going to make this video any longer than it needs to be, because I am struggling right now, but do feel free to share your own thoughts down below, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have in mind. Take care and I'll catch you in the next one, lads. Peace.